Scatosh! Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming. What do you guys think I should say instead of that when I open up the video? I just think what I say in the beginning is extremely lame. But anyway, everything I do on this, there's no script. I just run with it. So anyway, moving along. We are talking about some more Kaldheim, okay? And this time, I gotta be honest, this set is really looking like it's gonna be a set. I don't know if the word invest in is good, but the power level is high. There's no denying that. It's not low. It's not medium. The power level is high. And with that being said, that's going to bring a lot of more valuable cards. Of course, this all comes down to print run and stuff like that. Are they going to print the crap out of it? Is it going to be something more along the lines less printed like Commander Legends product, you know, especially the collector boxes? Is it going to be something like that? Or are they going to just print the living daylights out of it, man? And if that's the case, then yeah, the prices are not going to be that high. But I'm telling you, the power level in this set is ridiculous. And we are just rolling out the carpet with more high power level cards, spells, whatever. Search for Glory is a 3-drop snow sorcery. Set your library for a snow permanent card, a legendary card, or a saga card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. You gain 1 life for each snow spent to cast this spell, or snow-covered land, basically. That's too much to say. We're just going to call it snow. This is a cool card. Why the heck not? And yeah, it does say snow permanent card, but you could also do that just legendary. It doesn't say snow legendary card. So that's a big plus. Or saga card. So those are excluded from the whole snow thing, which for 3 to go tutor up something, this is not bad. This is pretty decent, you know. And there's even an upside. If you're running snow, you get to go ahead and get yourself some free life, which I think is pretty cool. Very neat card. It's only a 3-drop white. Cool tutor. What more do you want me to say? Sweet. Okay, here's something that is just power level, guys. I don't know. Tergrid, God of Fright. And the Lantern over here. Legendary creature, God. Menace. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control. So let's say they go and play a fetch land or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Guess what? You could do the same thing. Hopefully you got one of those. Like a Fabled Passage would be the most ideal, you know, in any situation, I would imagine. If your opponent's playing a Fabled Passage, they go ahead and sacrifice that. Then you're able to go ahead and retrieve yourself that Fabled Passage and crack it and go get a land yourself, which I think is pretty sick. You know, it's kind of cool. Yeah, and you put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Anything else that may be sacrificed, they could have a 10-10 wildebeest out there for all we care, you know, and you made them just sacrifice it. Well, guess what? You can now play that 10-10 freaking wildebeest, which is insanity, okay? Then we have Tergrid's Lantern. Tap it. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. The nutty thing is you can pay 4 and untap this and do that ability again. Oh, what are they doing? I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but that is pretty strong, okay? Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Now, sometimes, you know, late game, this isn't going to matter too, really late game, unless they have a lot of card draw. I don't know, it's hard to say. It depends on your opponent's deck, really, is how much this is going to do to them. If they're really draw heavy, this probably isn't going to have that much of an impact because they can just get rid of a card. But if they're not that draw heavy in their build, this is really going to mess them up, and you're going to blow them into smithereens rather quickly. Anyway, I think this is a really cool card. Nice little god here. Moving forward, there's a lot to go over, so I can't spend too much time on everything. Tormenters Helm is a 1-drop. I like this. It's a simple, fun, little cute ability, okay? Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to defending player. Equip cost is 1. Great for limited. There's no problem with that. I think it's fun, especially if you put this on something with Indestructible, then it's really fun. Because you're just like, okay, I mean, not that you're going to want to run this, it's not the best strategy in the world, okay? But, you know, if you have something with Indestructible and limited per se, you know, this would be great to run, you know? Just the fact that you're every time you attack in, bink, Bink. You just keep pinging him for a while. I think it's annoying, you know? Especially if they have no way to get rid of your indestructible card. They have no exile. They have no sacrifice in their deck. You're just going to have pink. It's fun to me. Anyway, okay. I had fun with that one. Iron Verdict, 3-drop, deals 5 damage to target tapped creature. It's got Foretell on it. And then Doomscar Oracle is a 3-drop. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you gain 2 life. And it has Foretell on it as well. There is a lot of this whole casting your second spell each turn. I've noticed that popping up quite a few times with several cards from this set. Waking the Trolls. I knew we were going to see some land destruction with all the stuff that's making people just flood the board with lands. And if you hit 6 lands, you know, with the World Tree, amazing things happen. And you can just about cast any freaking thing you want, you know. I had a feeling we're going to see land destruction. And it's coming back in this set. For sure. Destroy target land. Now, this is a 6-drop. Pretty heavy stuff here, guys. But the perks are great. Destroy target land. For deuce, put target land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That's pretty good. For 3, choose target opponent. If they control fewer lands than you, create a number of 4/4 green troll warrior creature tokens with trample equal to the difference. That's pretty cool, man. Gonna wrap up the game quick. If you're running a lot of destruction on, land destruction, you're gonna want to run something like this up in your build. I wonder what other land destruction cards we're gonna get. I think this is the second one we got showcasing land destruction. So we'll see what else comes about. This is a neat saga though. It's a 6, but I think it had to be a 6. If it was a 4 or something, this would be so busted. Rally the Ranks is a 2-drop enchantment. This is a cool one, by the way. As Rally of the Ranks enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. It could be elves, it could be dwarves, it could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your brother, it could be your... Doesn't matter. It could be the neighbor's dog. Whatever the creature type is, okay, you're going to be able to give those creatures +1/+1. The chosen type gets +1/+1. That's pretty nuts. And there's a card that just makes any creature the same creature type of any other creature that... We'll get to that in 1 second. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Rally the Ranks, awesome. That works with Changelings also. Any Changeling... I like calling them like a Changeling. I don't know. Anyway, Cha-ching, Kindling, Dingling, whatever. Ringling. Okay, moving forward. Cool card. We have Blizzard Brawl. Saw it coming. Oh, God. Why would they... I hate... this card makes me cringe. Saw Coming is a 3-drop instant. Counter target spell. Foretell for 2. Ugh. This is the most cringeworthy anti-blue player freaking card they could have printed. You know, like if you're an anti-blue player like myself, you know, I do play blue on occasion, but not all the time. I just counter. Shove your counter up your freak. Okay, all right. Saw it coming. You didn't see that coming though, did you? Okay, saw it coming. Can't stand it. Cringeworthy. Blizzard Brawl is cool though. Check this out. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, the creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Then those creatures fight each other. That's sweet, man. The thing about snow sets. Now, Ice Age was, in the beginning, Ice Age, it was pretty bad. It had a lot of text on it. It's kind of crappy, you know, a lot of fluff, a lot of cards too. But Ice Age was kind of garbage. But now that they're reprinting so many, this is the 3rd snow set. Now that they're on their 3rd snow set. Those blocks, that set, not block, those sets, Ice Age, Cold Snap, they're going to get like a little more life put into them, you know, and you'll see, like, there's not a ton of snow cards out there, so any new snow card that comes into the world of snow is pretty legit. Another reason to buy into Cold Home. If you're going to buy any of the sets, this is the set to buy. I'm not shilling for Wizards, as some of you out there like to say. I have no ties with Wizards. Wizards doesn't even like me. I'm just saying from a person who does on occasion like to pick up a box and sit on it for a while, you know, this would be a set you'd want to do that with. Kaldheim, it will go up in price faster than the other sets around it. I'm telling you right now. Okay, moving along. Saw coming. Yeah, I do. Spectral Steel. I left this up here for so long. I'm sure you guys read all this already. So I'm going to go on to the next one. Then we have Reckless Crew. Now, Rowdy Crew was just garbage. I could not stand this card. I don't know why they printed it. Like, I tried running it. It just did nothing. It's a 4-drop. I'm going to read Rowdy Crew first, because Reckless Crew is so freaking awesome. Rowdy Crew, Human Pirate Trample. When Rowdy Crew enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards at random. If 2 cards that share a card type are discarded this way, what a trash card. Why would they even print that at Mythic? They could have made this a freaking 4/4 for 3 and no one would have played the dang thing. All right, moving along. Reckless Crew is a 4-drop. Sorcery. I love this. Create X. 2/1 red dwarf berserker creature tokens, where X is the number of vehicles you control plus the number of equipment you control. Now, yeah. For each of those tokens, you may attach an equipment you control to it. That's sweet, man. I'm digging it. Now, I'm not Mickey D in it. I'm digging it, all right? Boats burning. Row faster. I friggin' love the friggin' text. All right, this is a really cool card. Think of all that advantage there. You know, I mean, obviously, you got to run certain stuff, guys. You know, you're going to want to at least run vehicles or equipment, or the combination of both, you know. I wonder how exactly it's all going to pan out in the end. But this is a really cool card. You're going to be able to get a bunch of these little stupid dwarves, and they're going to be able to equip these little dwarves. You know, there's a heck ton of fun stuff going on there, guys. I think it's a fun, neat card. The only downside is these little dwarves don't come in with haste. So if you can find a way to give your dwarves haste, you're going to really take your opponent to Pound Town. All right, moving forward. Quakebringer. This thing is a beast. Okay. 5-drop. Giant Berserker. Your opponents can't gain life. Called it. The second I seen all the crazy life gain going on, I'm like, in the very beginning with all the clerics, which I don't even know if they actually spoiled that stuff yet. I know I did leaks on it, so maybe that still has to be spoiled, but I already spoiled it. Okay. Anyway, your opponents can't gain life. That will matter. I'm telling you right now. At worst, this will be a sideboard card or something, okay? But remember, this is a giant and a berserker, and it's got foretell. You can end up only paying 4 to cast this, turn 4, turn 3, however you want to freaking play it. At the beginning of your upkeep, Quakebringer deals 2 damage to each opponent. This ability triggers only if Quakebringer is on the battlefield or Quakebringer is in your graveyard and you control a giant. That's nuts. This ability triggers only if Quakebringer is on the battlefield or if Quakebringer is in your graveyard and you control a giant. Whoa. So as long as you have a giant on the battlefield, you can still have Quakebringer in your graveyard and you're still going to get that 2 damage. That's nutty. So exiling opponent's graveyards is going to matter in this upcoming set as well. Or this in Kaldheim. This is pretty cool. That's a beast of a card, man. I'm telling you. Giant Berserker. I like that it shuts down the life gain, though. I think we're going to see at least one more card that will negate your opponent's ability to gain life. And also notice at the beginning of your upkeep, Quakebringer does 2 damage to each opponent. They're always including the words each now for commander purposes. I swear. All right, moving along. Cool card. Then we have Skim for Shadow Sage, the Vega the Watcher, which I already spoiled this a while ago, and Spirit of the Guard. The coolest one here, probably going to be that middle one, Vega the Watcher. Flying whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, draw a card. Yeah, that's not too bad, man. You know, especially with this set being where you can play things from the graveyard, which we'll talk about in a minute. All types of crazy stuff, playing your opponent's stuff as well. There's just all types of things going on. Spirit of the Guard is a 4-drop. Enters the battlefield. Search your library for a snow land card. Remember, we got these dual snow lands now, where you can have, it's a snow forest. It's a forest mountain. It's a plain swamp, snow-covered land. Pretty legit. And then you get a +1/+0 for each snow permanent you control. This thing's not, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. It's whatever. It's nothing crazy. Skim for Shadow Sage is interesting. Enters the battlefield, choose 1. Each opponent loses X life for X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common. So let's say you have 3 bears out and, an elf. Well, 3 bears are going to be the ones that count, and whichever bear is the toughest among them. Okay, there you go. Same with the gain life thing. So it'd be 3 damage. you'd gain 3 life, whatever. If you had 3 bears out. Yeah, going by the number, guys, not the toughness or power. Okay, moving along. So anyway, that's pretty legit as well. Faceless Haven, another D's card. It's pretty cool. Tap it, add a colorless or devoid. Did we get rid of the whole devoid? We don't call this devoid anymore. We just call it colorless again. I don't know. All right, so for 3 snow, Faceless Haven becomes a 4/3 creature with vigilance and all creature types until end of turn. It's still a land. So that means if you have any of these buffs from other things, any of these anthem effects, +1/+1 to dwarves, or whatever the case may be, that's going to affect this thing as well. It'd be a 5/4 if you had +1/+1, stuff like that. All dwarves get trample, you get trample, whatever the case may be. I think that's pretty legit. Am I over there? Creature with vigilance and all. Yeah, okay, cool. So anyway, moving along, nice land. Mask Wood Nexus. Here's a fun busted card. 4-drop. Creatures you control are every creature type. Let's say you have a card that says warriors, get +2/+1. Well, this thing just makes every freaking card a warrior now. Let's say you have one that has an elf +1/+1, or friggin' birds. All birds get +1. Whatever. I don't think birds is a thing. All ravens get +1/+1. I don't think ravens are a thing. But they would all get that perk plus all the other ones around it, which is pretty nuts. For 3, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. It is every creature type. So even if this thing were to go away, you still have your Changeling out there, which has all types as well. That's pretty dirty, man. That is pretty dirty. So that means you could play this, and now every card's a giant. You could play a 1/1. It's a giant when it enters the battlefield, and not only that, but also it affects that if it's in graveyards, right? Is that here? Creature controller, every creature type. The same is true for creature you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. There you go. So yeah, cool. Maybe not in the graveyard. Yeah, wait. Cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. I don't think that would affect graveyards. That would be cool if it did, though, because there's a card out there that does the same thing. All right, moving along. Kaias Onslaught is probably the best card right here. We already went over that one in the back. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike until end of turn. Foretell on it as well. I think Kaias Onslaught is pretty legit. The Foretell is nice. If this was just a 2-drop, leave it at that. I mean, cool. That would have been all right. Just a 2-drop double strike, be something. But it's got Foretell on it. So down the road you can pay 1. Cool. Replicating Ring. I've not even read this one yet. Add 1 mana of any color. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a night counter on Replicating Ring. Then, if it has 8 or more night counters on it, remove all of them and create 8 colorless snow artifact tokens named Replicated Ring with... Wow. Well, that's a horse of a different color. If you can get a lot of counters on that thing, especially with that one card... Wow. Whoa. You can get a heck ton of counters with that new Phyrexian dude, Veraclex or whatever, with that Replicating Ring. Talk about getting a bunch of mana out. I mean, it's going to be later in the game. There's so many meme-style things you can do with Kaldheim cards. I swear, it's insanity, man. Draugr, Necromancer, is a 4-drop zombie cleric. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead. You may cast spells from among cards in your exile. Cards in exile. Why am I reading that wrong? You may cast spells from among cards in exile your opponents own with ice counters on them, and you may spend mana from snow sources as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. 4/4. Cool. Play your opponent's stuff. Oh, I killed something. Cool, I'm going to play it now. Thanks. All right, that's busted. So many just sick little busted, broken little freaking things along the way, Higher casting cost, I know, but this is a nasty little payoff, though, man. It's a zombie cleric. It's a cleric. Pay attention to that, folks. Oh, my God. Moving along, we got Guardian Gladewalker, these are all Changelings, shapeshifters, all that fun stuff. A couple commons, 1 uncommon. I think I spoiled the 2 of these already. Bloodline Pretender is a 3-drop. As Bloodline Pretender enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever another creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Bloodline Pretender. That's pretty cool. It's a 3-drop. artifact creature, shapeshifter, deuce. Very, very cool, man. Very, very cool. All these changelings, they basically are every other creature type, man. Here's a busted card. Eradicator Valkyrie for 4. Flying lifelink hexproof from Planeswalkers. Good. Except for Ugin. Ugin will still kill this thing. Doesn't matter. Because it's not targeting it. Like, Ugin just kill. It should say, and hexproof from Ugin. No, it should say, and protection from Ugin. And its global effects. That's what it should say on Eradicator Valkyrie right here. But this thing's busted, though. If it stays on the field, yeah. Flying lifelink, hexproof from Planeswalkers, boast for deuce. Sacrifice a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or Planeswalker. Activate this ability only if this creature attacked this turn, and only once each turn. Sacrifice a creature. Sacrifice a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or Planeswalker. Not busted. I don't know why I read the first time that this... I only read each opponent sacrifices a creature or Planeswalker. That would be busted. But it does say boast for to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a creature as well. Not as busted as I once thought, but still, that's pretty freaking legit. As long as you got some crappy little cards and you're cool at getting rid of, or maybe you can just bring right back, with the ETB trigger on them, stuff like that is really going to make it a lot of fun. It's an Angel Berserker, which is really legit. We're going to see black-white angels. Probably a thing, maybe. Yeah, black-white cleric angels, that's a thing for sure. Yeah, pretty cool card. Okay, I got a little bit caught up because I skipped over the sacrifice a creature part. That's huge. If you just took that out of the equation, busted. All right, then we got Tibbles Trickery, which is a 2-drop. Counter target spell. You're red. Are you confused? Are you identifying as a blue card, but you're really red? Could have just put blue on there, huh? You can just paint yourself blue. Do what you want. Go ahead. No one's judging. Tibbles Trickery is a 2-drop instant counter target spell. Choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Choose. Go ahead right now. Pick a number. I'm going to guess right now. 3. You picked 3, and you know you picked 3. Its controller mills that many cards, then exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card with a different name than that spell. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then they put the exiled cards on the bottom of their library in a random order. So if you're countering something with this spell, it better be something worth your while. It better be something that can possibly end the game for you, because you're taking a big chance, especially dependent upon what kind of deck your opponent's running. You don't know what's going to come up there, man, and what the heck they're going to smack down next for free. That is some scary stuff. So make sure the payoff is amazing. Or maybe you could look at your opponent's hand and look at the top few cards and just know what the heck's coming next. I don't know. But no matter how you look at it, man, this is some scary, scary stuff. Just saying. We got counters in red. Not the first time we've seen counters in other stuff other than blue. I mean, we've seen it in black before. I don't know if we've seen it in green yet. But, yeah, I mean, we've seen it in other colors. So, red, welcome aboard. I think red probably already has one also. Moving along. Toraf, God of Fury, and Toralf's Hammer. Not sure what to make of this yet, but you basically got a lightning bolt, man, that's dealing damage over and over again. For 4, you have God of Fury. It's got Trample. He's a god. Whenever a creature, planeswalker, an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, Toralf deals damage equal to the excess to any target other than that permanent. Can we just make that more confusing for new players? Yeah, we sure could. Whenever a creature, planeswalker, an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage. So let's say let's just say you had a lightning strike, okay? Okay, a lightning strike. You deal 3 damage. Let's say you're doing it to a 2/2, okay? Well, there's excess damage. There's that 1 damage that usually just fizzles out and does nothing. But now you could basically redirect it to any other permanent. That's pretty cool. Other than that permanent, yeah, deals damage equal to the excess to any target. To any target other than that permanent. Okay, so you can deal more damage. So you can't deal excess damage to the same target because actually there's cards that would trigger off like crazy. like the dinosaurs, Enraged, I think it's called. Is it Enraged it's called? Just like it would trigger off. Every time they deal damage, something triggers, you know. That'd be nutty. So that's kind of cool that they put that clause in there, you know. I like that. So yeah, you can deal damage to their face. It's any target after that. The excess damage goes to. Pretty cool. And then you have Toralf's Hammer, which, you know, these two go hand in hand. 2-drop, legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature has for deuce unattached Toralf's Hammer. It deals 3 damage to any target. So you're unequipping. It's funny it says unattached. Why don't you just unequip? Aren't you unequipping it? I don't know. If you're equipping it, wouldn't the exact opposite be to unequip? Or I guess that would be unattach. Wouldn't we just call it detach? I'm confused. Toralf's Hammer, it deals 3 damage to any target. Return Toralf's Hammer to its owner's hand. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 as long as it's legendary. So you got to have a legendary creature out. You can make it a big boy. Cool. It gets the whole +3/+0. Only if it's legendary, though. So equipping it, you're just unequipping it just to deal 3 damage. You know, basically, if you're not running any legendary cards at all in your deck, I think this is kind of a stupid card to run in your build. You know, that's just my opinion. I'm sticking to it. But this is a pretty cool card. I think it's very different. I'm not sure how amazing it's going to be. I'm sure there's other things I'm missing that are going to make this card just phenomenal. But again, power level of this set, guys, is pretty high. And just seeing new kind of stuff. You know, I never thought unattaching an equipment, Wizards would print a card where there's a perk for doing that, you know, so very, very cool cards. Then we got the Morite of the Frost, Blood Sky Berserker, and our first Ruin. That's right, our first Ruin. We are finally going to learn about our first Ruin. Aren't you happy? Now, let's get into Morite of the Frost. It's a 5-drop legendary snow creature, shapeshifter. It's got Changling. This card has every creature type. This is busted. For a freaking uncommon, you may have Morite of the Frost enter the battlefield as a copy of a permanent you control, except it's legendary and snow in addition to its other types. And if it's a creature, it enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it, and is a Changling. What? That is stupid. Stupid good. I mean, I don't get me wrong, though. I have been let down before by cards like these, where you're copying something that's on the field. The downside is, if you're getting board wiped, this card is trash, you know, because you have no target. You need to target something for this card to actually be something. Please keep that in mind, okay? So as cool as this card is, you're going to really need something to be able to target it with, you know. Then we have Blood Sky Berserker, which is pretty cool. It's a 2-drop creature Berserker. When you cast your second spell each turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. It gains menace until end of turn. I like that. It's counters, not just it gets +2 +2 or +1/+1. No, it gets counters put onto it. So this Berserker can get really big, really quick, and it gains the menace. So that's pretty cool. I like it. Then we have our Blue Ruin. That's right, our Blue Ruin. It is enchant permanent. When the Blue Ruin enters the... I have to go out of my way to say that wrong for you guys. When Blue Ruin enters the battlefield, draw a card. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has flying. As long as enchanted permanent is an equipment, it has equipped creature has flying. Okay. So as I said, these runes, were going to be very, very cheap. Okay, I said they're going to be like, you know, a couple to cast, 2 or 3, just by the text of the one thing, discounting them by 1. So you paid if you had that one card. It hasn't even been leaked yet. No, it's been leaked already. I talked about it. It hasn't been spoiled yet. I'll wait to talk about that once we respoil the card after I already leaked it earlier. I don't know. I leaked a lot of stuff that not many other people did. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so a lot of cards we already know about. This is a kind of exactly what I thought it would be. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has flying. As long as enchanted permanent is an equipment, it has equipped creature, has flying. Yeah, I was saying you can basically enchant an equipment is what I was saying these ruins are going to be. And it looks like the ruins are exactly what I thought they'd be. I just didn't think the other thing, as long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has flying. So I don't know. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. That's already pretty good. Cool. I mean, and it helps out with devotion kind of stuff. This is our first rune. I'm dying to see what the other runes look like. We're going to learn a lot more, but it's pretty much what I thought it would be. Pretty cool. All right, moving forward, baby. Then we have Jorn, God of Winter. This is crazy. But it's not that crazy, and I'll tell you why in a second. For 3, whenever Jorn attacks, untap each snow permanent you control. It is a god, okay? Okay, whenever it attacks, untap each snow permanent you control. That's pretty legit. You know, if you have creatures that are all snowed out, you know, like they all get vigilance basically, okay? But also you're untapping other stuff, whatever the case may be. You can even untap your Kaldheim the Rime Staff over here. Which has a legendary snow artifact. You tap this, you may play target snow permanent card from your graveyard this turn. If you do, it enters the battlefield tapped. That seems pretty friggin' busted, you know, it really does. But when you consider things, snow does not have that much support as many of us think. I did a little digging. I just went to see like maybe, you know, 3 of the larger, bigger, more powerful spells that are around right now in snow. And they all came from one freaking block. Actually, maybe Ice Age has it too, but it doesn't read that on the text of the card. So I probably have to do some more research. But we have Rimescale Dragon, which is a 7-drop. You know, it's got some snow on it for 3. It's got flying to 5/5. Tap target creature and put an ice counter on it. Creatures with ice counters on them don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Okay. Then you got Diamond Fair. I'm just thinking about like big... high casting mana cost snow spells is what I went with, you know, that you can just smack on the battlefield with this card. And you're looking at the 3 of the highest ones. And at least one of the better payoffs is Diamond Fairy. Rimescale Dragon's a nice payoff too. There's also the Angel Valkyrie or whatever. I think it allows you to return a creature that died or something like that. To the battlefield of your control. I can't remember exactly how it works. If you pay 2 or tap something or I don't know. But anyway, these are the cards. It is cool, but it has to be a snow permanent. Target snow permanent card from your graveyard this turn. I mean, that could even be a snow-covered land. You could do that as well. It's also in 3 colors. Something else to consider, just for standard purposes, you know, for all this to work. I think it's a really cool card. I think it's a little... ahead of its time, and I'll tell you what, if they this is going to be a sought after card though, but if they print another snow set, this card's going to jump a lot, you know, in price, and they will print another snow set. Hopefully it won't take as long as it did this time around. I think it's like every 8 years I feel they print one. It takes a while for them to print a frickin' snow set. Maybe even more time than that. Maybe 10 years goes by before they print a snow set. So we will see when the next one comes out. But that's a pretty interesting card nonetheless. Then we have our Warm Storage Surge and Carter's Vicious Return, which is a 4-drop. You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, Carter's Vicious Return deals 3 damage to any target. Each player discards a card. This would go great with that other card when you're making people sacrifice and all that stuff, and you get some perks out of the sacrifice. That's pretty legit, man. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until the next turn. I like that. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until the next turn. That is sick. I just puked everywhere. That's sick. I didn't even read that. That is sick. All right, that's a 6 saga. That's a SS6 saga right there. Okay, I like that. That's a brutal frickin' saga right there, man. Warm Storm Surge, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Just like that 5-drop dragon that came out a couple sets back. Same exact effect on it, only this thing is just static out there chilling, you know, and it's a 6-drop. Huge meme card, huge payoff. If you can get this thing to stick on the field, you're probably going to end up winning the game, you know, especially if you have both the dragon and this thing out. That'd be nuts. Cool cards, though. Really, really cool cards, but definitely meme-ish on the Surge over here. Pardon my edit here. Cardor Doomscourge is a 4-drop Demon Berserker. When Mr. Doomscourge enters the battlefield, until your next turn, creatures your opponent's control attack each combat if able. And attack a player other than you if able. Whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Cool card. It is a 4-drop, but who cares? People are going to like this in Commander. This thing's pretty fun. Notice it says until your next turn, creatures your opponent's control attack each combat if able. So that's until you enters the battlefield until your next turn. Wow. So they're doing that every single turn. That's ugly. They're going to be just causing chaos, and they have to attack somewhere. Creature opponents control attack Skim if able, and attack a player other than you if able. Wow. So that's pretty fun. There would be a way they could attack just you, but man, in Commander, that's nutty. Barilla Outrider, whenever you cast a creature spell, if no of any of that spell's colors was spent to cast it, that creature enters the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on it. I think that's pretty legit. It's an Elf Warrior. Cool, cool. Divine Gambit. This card is dumb. 2-drop, exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls. That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. You better make sure you know what the heck is in your opponent's hand before you go and use this sorcery, pal. Because if you screw up, you might have a freaking Eldrazi that you're facing turn 3. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to be doing none of that crap, man. Really, really cool, though. Divine Gambit. I wonder if there's like a redirection. Couldn't you, like in blue, couldn't you cast this and a redirect or something like that? That spell where it affects you now and then you can play any card. Boop. Right? There should be a way to do that. I'm not sure how it would all go down. It might be in Historic. I'm sure there's other formats that'd be really easy to do. But yeah, redirect that spell. There's got to be something that makes that happen. That's nuts. So be careful with Gambit, guys. Here, don't be crazy. Hagimob, Annul, and open the... I swear it said Armpits. All right, we got a 5-drop for Boast. Deuce over here. Hagimob deals 1 damage to any target. Cool. I mean, it's got to attack or something. It's a Troll Berserker. It's not going to see much play. Annul, this will see play, especially in sideboards. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. If your opponent's running a bunch of enchantments and artifacts, bring it out in game 2. Kick the crap out of them. Open the Armpits. We're calling it Armpits, man. Open the Armpits. Choose 1. Add 2 mana of any 1 color and 2 mana of any other color. Spend this mana only to cast creature or enchantment spells. Okay. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's not too bad. Add 2 mana of any 1 color and 2 mana of any other color. Only to cast creature or enchantment spells. It helps a little bit. I mean, it's like you just traded 3 mana for 4 mana, is what you kind of did there. So, but there's also a nice little perk built into it, +1/+0 creature control. So it's a flex card. I like it. This would go good in like your dwarf dragon kind of builds. It'd be kind of cool to see it there. But yeah, not bad, and however it comes up is however you're going to use it. There you go. Whoa, that was a long one. 37 minutes. Holy crap, guys. What did you think? Did you make it this far? If you did, say, Joey, I can smell you from here. I had a great time doing this one. I got carried away. 38 minutes in. Unbelievable, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. And also check out the other videos from the other day. Open up some vintage packs. Mind blown. I have not done that in a long time. Really, really cool that Andy Torres sent that out. So thanks, man, for doing that. Cool video to watch. Oof, brings me back. All right, guys, I appreciate you. As always, go skadoosh yourself.